Well, I think Ottawa is a perfect place for individuals to gather to talk about peace in our world.
We're peacekeepers around the world. We've participated in so many of the UN peacekeeping missions around the world. So peace is really centrally important to Canada, and that's why the Canada Peace Festival here in Ottawa is really very symbolic and very appropriate.
Since 1812, there's never been a war in Canada. That gives us a starting point that most countries don't have.
It's a country that has a long history of promoting peace. In fact, our Parliament buildings, the central tower, is called the Peace Tower. And it is the country that actually proposed the United Nations peacekeepers back in the 1940s after the Second World War.
What I'm seeing is a wonderful movement of spirit. People are being drawn to the nation's capital region. We have a wonderful culture that has a record of being peace givers.
We have so many remarkable people that have come here from all over Canada and even parts of the United States that are here to participate in this global peace festival.
This country embraces all the people from everywhere. Students from Asia, Africa, Latin America, Europe, you name them, everywhere.
We're uniquely positioned in that sense to broker relationships among peoples who have traditionally fought and have had disagreements in their home countries.
People come to love to be Canadian because they feel that they're representatives of harmony in the world.
You know, one of the problems of religion, one is in antiquity, it is very sacred to people. It becomes so sacred that it becomes divisive sometimes. And the politics and politicians try to use this.
I think each one of us has somehow a different understanding or a different view of peace, but at the same time it is very united and very similar.
The world is our home, and the world is so big, and there are so many perspectives. So to have people come here together and talking about their perspectives, I mean, that to me is so important.
So if someone says something against a certain group of people, you can say, no, I have a friend who's of that religion or that culture, and it's not like that at all. Actually, I can give you a concrete example that is not like the stereotype.
We now have tens of thousands of civilians making peace unarmed the world over. However, so far these efforts are largely unorganized and not recognized by governments.
You need to create a focus, a sense that there is movement, a leadership developing in the creation of a peaceful world, that it's not haphazard, that we can make it real.
We need institutions for culture of peace. Naturally, we do need individuals that peace. If you don't have inner peace, you can't create outer peace. We need a federal department of peace. Such a department would focus on peace education based on universal human values.
We will train civilians to become peace professionals.
So I'm hoping with my program that I can capitalize on the passion, the energy, and now the little bit of experience that I have to really put myself in the field as a professional and explore different avenues for peace building and conflict resolution.
We must work together to ensure that our youth and our children have caring adults, effective education, as well as opportunities to help others.
It is important to me to engage young people now. Youth are the here, they are the now. They are not the future, because by the time the future arrives, they are no longer youth.
This year already, in just 2 short months, we've had 4 amazing festivals throughout the world, in Paraguay, the United States, Kenya, and Mongolia.
The values that the Global Peace Festival is promoting are universal values, something that we share all around the world.
A family under one God, regardless of what gods we interpret it to be. And that itself brings tranquility and peace in itself.
A lot of the ideas and concepts are, enabling people and empowering people to take responsibility for creating peace in the world.
The Canada Peace Festival is here to celebrate, enjoy, dance. They come here to pray and to respect and honor Ottawa Peace Prayer Day.
When we talk about the value of partnership, we are talking about understanding each other. We're understanding about opening up. And that partnership then evolves into something rather great.
On the human rights front, Canada has always stood tall in that area, whether it's an international criminal court, whether it is the writing of instruments, whether it is the supporting of major UN instruments around human rights.
We are gathered here today at this important national monument to pay tribute to a remarkable international document that has had an extraordinary influence on our lives.
The Universal Declaration of Human Rights of the United Nations was penned partially by a Canadian, John Humphreys, and there's a monument in his honor here in Ottawa.
Before we see ourselves as black or white or Asian, before we identify ourselves as Canadian or American or citizens of any nation, we are first and foremost the eternal sons and daughters of God and members of His eternal family. Nevertheless, the countries of this world have a way to go to overcome these conflicts of the past. Undecided territorial, ethnic, and national divisions and broken economic and social ties all provoke instability, uncertainty, and violence. This is why we so badly need a new peace initiative based upon the common, universal, spiritual vision of building one family under God. May God bless you and your families and this great nation of Canada.